Welcome to the Educating Kids and Connecting Families podcast. I'm your host, Christine Furman, a homeschool mom, entrepreneur, and educator with over 20 years of experience in the areas of elementary and special education. It's my mission to provide your family with encouragement, inspiration, and connection. I'll equip you with resources and expert advice to help you effectively educate your kids in a fun and meaningful way. If you value education, quality family moments, and community, you're in the right spot. We'll discuss all things parenthood, education, homeschool, ways to balance it all, and so much more. Join us each week as we empower you to raise kind, confident, and independent kids while building community and connection. Welcome to episode 48 of Educating Kids and Connecting Families. I'm your host, Christine Furman, and I'm so glad that you're here with us today. Each week, I express my gratitude. And today, I just want to take a moment to really say thank you. I know that your time is valuable and you could be doing a multitude of things. And maybe you are while you're listening or while I'm in your earbuds. But from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. And I truly want you to know how grateful I am to have you join me each week and be a part of this community. Well, it's Thanksgiving week in the U.S., and there's no better way to kick off the week than by sharing gratitude for those around us. So today, I am going to take a moment and share all that I'm grateful for and encourage you to share what you're grateful for, whether that is taking some time and reflecting and journaling that out, or you can jump into the exclusive Facebook group, Educating Kids, Connecting Families, and share all that you're grateful for, no matter how big or how small. So today I'm going to share also some ways that we can teach and discuss gratitude with our kids, and also why it is so good for us, why it's so important, and why we feel good after we take some time to just share gratitude for those around us and for what we have. So today, I just want to take a moment and say I am truly grateful for all of the people that are in my life. So many people. And first and foremost, to you, my listeners. Thank you for joining me each week. Without you, I wouldn't be here. And I love that I have this opportunity to share with you my own personal stories, my educational stories with my kids, with my students. I love the opportunity to be able to inspire moms wherever they're at on their journey and walk alongside you and say, I got you. You're not alone in this journey, no matter where you're at. So thank you so much for being here, and be sure to stay tuned because we're going to continue to ramp up even more exciting content in 2025. And I would love to hear from you. So you can reach out to me in many different ways. You can connect with me in that Facebook group. You can send me an email. You can even send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook. And just let me know if there is a topic that you really have on your heart and you're like, Christine, I would love for you to dive into this a little bit deeper. Please be sure to reach out and let me know what that is. And we will continue to just learn and grow in 2025. So I am so excited for that. And just thank you so much for being here. Another person that's huge in my life is my husband. So to my husband, Dan, I don't know where I would be without him. He is truly my biggest fan and supports me in all of my crazy adventures and ideas. He is the one that gets the brunt of it all when I'm stressed out, but I know that I couldn't do it without him. So much love and thanks to my hubby for allowing this all to, really come together. I have an idea and he says, go for it, and it's really great to be able to share content with you, be able to teach my kids, and be able to write and teach curriculum all along the way. So I just love this opportunity so much. And speaking of my children, Ella and Alex, they are truly the reason behind it all. I've shared with you all before my desire was to be home with them. and still educate and connect with families. And they have really helped me transform this business into what it is today. They are with me every day. They're watching me try again, as many times as you just got to keep moving forward. If something doesn't work, you try to figure out a different way. And it really is allowing them to see these lessons along the way, see these opportunities, and let them know that you can achieve great things. And it may take time and you may fail, and that's okay. You just got to get back up. You just got to keep trying and really just giving them the confidence in themselves that you can do this. So it's a wonderful opportunity that I can be here educating them along the way, as well as helping other families and educating them with the curriculum. So it's just been so wonderful. And my kids have really helped me create this curriculum. They are recording videos with me. They're writing and preparing the curriculum. And they even market to prospective families. And it's so funny because I have a quick little story and I'll never forget this moment. We were walking out of Walmart and we were getting to our car, and there was a mom, maybe 5 to 10 steps behind us. And she had a toddler in her cart, maybe under a year, where Ella was maybe 3 or 4. I mean, she was not old at all. And I'm getting the kids in the car, and this mom comes up. Her car was right next to ours. And she goes, "Mom, you should give her your card." And it just made me so proud. And it was like, they are just so forward. There's no fear about it, like, yeah, put yourself out there, just do it. I mean, think about it. Whenever our kids are making friends at a park, right? They just go up and introduce themselves to someone. Hey, I'm so and so. Would you like to play? And oftentimes that's difficult for even us as moms. We're standing at a park and we see all the moms just kind of standing there watching their kids. And do we go up and we talk to that mom? Do we just stand back and watch our kids? Do we interact with our kids? Do we strike up a conversation? Do we just kind of mind our business, take that moment of downtime for a minute? So, but it's just really cool to see our kids just have that confidence and say, I can make friends anywhere, or you can talk to anyone and, invite them into the community and share what you have. So, to my children, I just thank them so much. I learn from them every day, and I just love doing this with them. Really running a business with them is truly what I get to do. So that's super cool too. Okay, so to my parents, they have instilled solid morals, values, and amazing work ethic. And as I've gone through this transition period, probably over the last 10 years, especially having my own children and reflecting back on my childhood, I've realized that so many of the principles and ideas are a direct influence from my childhood. How material was presented to me, how subjects or ideas, how I was taught. My parents were literally teaching me the EduPlay learning curriculum all along. But here I am. I'm the one that's creating it, but that's what they were doing. They were instilling in us these little lessons throughout our entire lives. One thing that I can think of right off the top of my head is like learning how to spray a fire extinguisher, and my dad, we lived out in the country, so we had space and we had, area and we could do this. But I remember he would make a fire and he'd say, okay, figure out how to use this fire extinguisher. And it's a contained fire, so don't worry about that. But it wasn't going to go crazy, but it was like, okay, this is a real life moment. There's a fire in front of me. I have a fire extinguisher in my hands. What do I do? And of course, they were there to show us along the way, but it was like, what would you do? And it was those real life problems solving skills. And, I just continue to reflect back on what I do and how I teach and how each of the topics that I share. And I'm like, oh, I can see how this has turned into a life lesson. And now that my kids are getting to that age where my parents can show them different things, I see now that that's what they do. let's go camping and let me show you how to build a fire. Let me show you what you would do, or let's discuss what you would do in this situation. And that's what I do. And that's what I teach my kids and all the other families too. It's all about incorporating our learning into our lives. And I just love that so much. And now I just have that opportunity to be able to develop, teach it to not only my own kids, but to other families around the world. So it's really cool whenever you sit down and you reflect on a lot of things, gratitude, your childhood, lessons learned. And it's like, where does that all come from? How did all these things transpire? And a lot of times we can just see it. And sometimes we just need to get quiet and look and see it. So, a huge thank you to my parents for sure. And to the rest of my family. Just many thanks for your endless support and love, being there for different events. I had a book event just recently and I had a full table of support, and that was really cool to be able to see that. They're always there to cheer me on, even if they don't quite know what I do. And I remember hearing that often, like, I'm really not sure what you do, but you're doing a great job, keep doing it. So, as long as I can continue to empower families and share the gift of education, it has all been totally worth it. So, thank you to my family for being there and just showing your support. And then my friends as well. I mean, I've had so many friends join me in person and virtually for different events. And I'm so grateful for their support as well. And I guess really the whole purpose is like, surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up. And I know that's not always the case. And I know that there are going to be people that are the doubters. They are, going to say, well, why are you doing this? Why did you leave a teaching job to stay home? You know what? That's between myself, my husband, and God and my family. And we make these decisions, but continuing to surround ourselves with people that are going to lift us up. And here's something else I've realized too, is not being so reactive with those comments back. And I've just had that experience recently too, where this comment that came into my, it was a text and I could have been defensive about it, right? It could have been criticism or it could have been help, and it could have been hey, I just noticed this, just wanted to let you know. So, and I could have reacted two different ways, right? I could have been defensive and put my walls up and said, well, this is why I do this. Or I could have said, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. And thank you for the opportunity to reflect. And then explain myself. I don't have to be defensive, but I'm explaining why I do what I do. There's a reason behind it. And that's not always evident to people. And sometimes we just need to take that moment and say, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Yes, I decided to, start a business. But really, why did I stay home? Why did I quit my teaching job? Because I wanted to be home with my kids. I wanted to be the primary person in their life and raise them and teach them and guide them. And that was a personal decision between my husband and I. And sometimes we just have to, continue to surround ourselves with those people that are going to lift us up, encourage us on our journey. And sometimes there's going to be, maybe relationships that fall to the wayside, and that's okay. But I just want to say thank you to everyone that has lifted me up and, to support me in so many different ways. And you may have even seen these posts where, to support a small business, it costs nothing. And really, that's so true by just referring someone or telling someone about what you do or sharing a post or even just sending a quick note of encouragement. It's all so important and so appreciated. So thank you to all the friends that have done that. And the ones that have said to me at different events, or meetups, I remember seeing someone at an amusement park and they're like, wow, you are just doing so much. And I'm like, I don't even see them on social media, right? I don't even know that they're watching, but they are. People are watching all the time. So keep doing your best. And, I just thank you, everyone, for being here and just continuing to encourage me along the way. And also a big thanks to all those that have attended my events and programs. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be a part of their educational journey and whatever that may be. So maybe it's in person, maybe it's tutoring, maybe it's just, digital downloads, or maybe it's the full thing of the EduPlay Learning Academy. But each family holds a special place in my heart. And I truly, truly just want to see each child succeed and each family become closer. That is really what it's all about for me. So stay tuned, friends. In-person events, virtual events, we'll be having them back in 2025 because I love interacting with families so much. I love being able to see the kids' eyes just light up when they are crafting or singing and dancing. So we've got so many great things coming, and it's just so awesome to be able to just be there for families. A few more thank yous, and then we're going to dive into some ways that you can talk about gratitude with your kids. So, another big thanks for my business are the coaches and mentors that have given me the skills and knowledge to get where I am today. And I couldn't have done this alone. I know that. Like, I have the gift of educating, but there's so many different parts of a business, so many different parts of life. I had one business coach that I thought was going to be a very big change in my business. And you know what it became? It was a huge change in my personal life. I was headed for burnout. I was headed for working constantly, can't get ahead, spending every waking minute just trying to do what I can do. I had 2 toddlers. So it was hard. And I finally had the opportunity to work with a coach, and she said, rest. You need to rest. You need to take time for yourself. You need to learn how to say no. And I got to learn so much about myself personally, about what do I actually want out of my business, out of my time at home with my kids. My time at home with my kids was the most important thing. So why was I letting my business take over that? And then realizing that it's all in God's time anyway. That each of these steps are stepping stones to get you where you're supposed to be. But to enjoy the process along the way. What if we just go, 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 and it's just a struggle and we lose things along the way? We lose relationships. We lose our health. We lose our mental capacity, our business. I mean, literally, you could lose everything. For what? So for me, it's so very important to nurture the relationships in my life, to continue to learn and grow and get better, make connections, because that's what it's about. It's about this whole journey. So a huge thank you to all the coaches that have really helped change the trajectory of my business. And it's just a blessing to be a lifelong learner and just keep soaking up as much knowledge as possible. And I encourage you to do the same wherever you're at on your journey. Whether you're a mom, a business owner, a homeschool mom, maybe you have a totally different career. Continue to learn about our health, about our wellness, financially, the earth around us, everything. There's so many things, your own niche of business or whatever position and job that you're in, so many things to learn about. So I encourage you to continue to be a lifelong learner for sure. And that is my hope for my own children as well as for your children. I truly believe in seeing each moment as a chance to learn, create, and have fun. It's my tagline. I say it after all the videos with my kids in it. That's like become one of their favorite things to say. And I really want that to be so ingrained in them. Like every moment is a chance to learn. Every moment you can create something. And I just want you to have fun doing it. I just want you to really enjoy it. So much fun there. So many great things. And to my current clients, of course, it's an absolute pleasure watching your kids learn and grow each day. From near to far, I get to educate kids in a way that makes the most sense to them individually. There's not two students that are learning the same way. Everyone has their own individual way that they're learning the content and the curriculum that I present to them. And I love that. I can provide a guide and a plan, but then say, you know what, this isn't working right now. Let's switch it up. So that is one of the best things about what I do is it's all individualized. It all is to meet the needs of your learner specifically and to empower families with resources and ideas and activities. And just remembering that education is all around us. The bookwork is a small amount of our education, of life. Yes, we need to know how to read and write and do math and know about the world around us. But how much of that do we actually need to sit down and do? There's so many things that we can just have our eyes forward and looking outward and saying, wow, I want to learn about these trees. I want to learn about why they're changing colors. Great. There's a whole science lesson there. Dive in. So it's just an honor to be your kid's teacher. And if you are listening and I am not your kid's teacher, and that is something that you're like, wow, I would love that opportunity, I would absolutely love that. Just truly being an inspiration for you and your family in whatever capacity that would be. And lastly, well, not quite lastly, but to my team, I couldn't do without them. Just like I couldn't do without my listeners, I couldn't do without my team, from my podcast team to my social media team to my curriculum team. Everyone helps me with the little things and they pull it all together so I can focus on the big tasks while also being present for my kids and my family. And it truly, truly does take teamwork to make the dream work. Something that I say to my kids all so often, especially when we're unloading the dishwasher or cleaning the house or whatever that situation may be. I've said that to them from the time that they were little. Teamwork makes the dream work. And it is so true. And it applies in so many areas of life. So surround yourself with those people that are going to lift you up, support you, and help bring your vision to life. Because I know I couldn't do it without them. And finally, a blessing to my Creator. I know that He has orchestrated my plans and paths that I would not have seen or chosen myself. He's given me the gift of education, and now I'm able to share that gift with you and the world. And I can't wait to see what He has in store. I know my story is not over, and I know that I could not do it without Him leading my steps and guiding me. And I know I need to call on Him when I need patience and support and love and everything in between, because it is easy to get distracted. But if we keep our eyes on Him, we're able to walk this path that He has called us to do. And recently, I've just realized there's so many negative thoughts and negative things that can come into our lives and our space. And just remembering those negative things are not from Him. And that's been one of my biggest prayers is, Lord, just continue to Keep the negativity out because I know it's not from you. When that fear creeps in, when that doubt creeps in and says, you know what? That's not from him. Constantly stay focused on him to lead and guide because that's what it's all about. So, those are some of the big things of gratitude that I want to share with you today. And I really do encourage you to sit down and just journal these things out. And I know for me, I have journaled out what am I grateful for each day? And we're going to talk about this here in just a minute about how can we do that? What does that look like? And maybe that's some quiet time before the kids get up. And I know that's what it's like for me because as soon as the kids get up, I am go. It is time to just get the day rolling. But I wake up before them and I have my quiet time to sit there and journal and reflect and prayer and soak in the gratitude. And what does that look like? I mean, I shared gratitude of many people in my life and all of the ways that they have impacted my life. But what about things like our health, our house? Recently, with the hurricane, I've been grateful for good insurance. I've been grateful for my husband's job that allowed us to have good insurance. I've been grateful for every single person that has come to my home to fix and repair things. So it doesn't always have to be people in your life that you're grateful for. It's all the little things too. I'm grateful that I was able to talk to a potential client. I'm grateful that I had a date night with my husband. I'm grateful that my kids and I had a wonderful morning of homeschooling. I'm grateful that you fill in the blank. What are you grateful for today? So, like I said, you could journal this out and it doesn't have to go anywhere. You can write it down and you could say every morning, what are 3 things that you're grateful for? Or you could share it and you could share it with those around you. So, you're going for Thanksgiving dinner, just saying what you're grateful for. And man, how much does that light someone up to say, I'm grateful for you because of this? Number one, I know it makes me feel better to say those things to someone, but to be on the receiving end of that as well just gives me such a big smile on my face to say, wow, sometimes we won't even realize that we're making an impact in someone else's life. And that is so cool. But you can tell someone, you can text someone, you can send a little note. However, you can share your gratitude. It's good. Another thing is you can share it in the Facebook group. We do this, I think, once a month. And there's a post that's posted and it's, what are you grateful for? Sometimes it's sleep. You know, you could be a mom that is not sleeping through the night because of your kids. And it's like, wow, I got a good night's sleep last night. That I'm grateful for that, to be able to work on, broken sleep or no sleep. That is tough. So it could be anything. It could be our clothes. It could be our family. It could be our job, our food, our home. So many things to be thankful for. And there's some ways that we can even teach our kids. So there is thankful turkeys. So within the EduPlay Learning curriculum, we do Thanksgiving and Turkey Week. And within those 2 collections, there's turkeys, and we talk about being thankful and writing things down of how you can be thankful. We could draw or write something down. That's for our kids, right? So they can draw a picture and say, well, what are you grateful for? And it could be anything. It could be their stuffed animals. It could be, a toy, whatever they are like, wow, I'm so happy that I have this. And also then we want to teach them also, yes, we're thankful for things, but what else are we thankful for? The people in our lives. So you can turn that into a lesson and make sure that we're thankful for the things that are making a big impact in our life, that really matter: our friends, our family, our health, our home, our love. That's something that my kids and I have talked about. I'm thankful for our home. I'm thankful that we were protected and we were safe. And just continuing to pray for those that were less fortunate and being able to support in any way that we can. So, really, you can turn a lesson of gratitude into empathy. And how can you feel for someone else that maybe is not as grateful or has experienced a traumatic situation? And what can you do to support them? So, another thing is just speaking gratitude, just saying it out loud. You can write it down, you can journal it, you can draw about it, but just even saying it. And why is that so important? It's so important because it's good for our bodies. It helps us switch from a negative mindset to a positive one. I can't do this. Well, let's switch that and say, I am able and I am grateful that I have the opportunity to do this. And it just takes that negativity out of it. And it allows us to see this amazing opportunity that, wow, I am in a position that I get to do X, Y, and Z. One thing that I think about is, our health. And sometimes it's easy to take it for granted. And then sometimes you see friends or children or, strangers that are struggling with their health and say, like, oh, I have to work out today. If I ever wake up like, oh, I have to work out today. And it's like, no, you get to work out today. You are healthy. And that's a blessing to be able to work out today and be able to share that gratitude and then think of others that may not have that opportunity. And you can even say a little prayer for them when you think of someone that may not be as fortunate. Another way is just showing our gratitude with our homemade gifts or treats or cards. Just another way to say, hey, I'm thinking of you and I just want to say thank you. Kind of like a birthday thank you card, which, by the way, I'm way behind on my thank you notes for my birthday. And yes, it was in September. And here we are, the end of November. I do understand this. But just a little note to say thank you. Thank you for celebrating with me. Thank you for being there. Thank you for your gift and your generosity and your thoughtfulness. And it just feels so good to just thank someone for what they've done for us. So there's some other ways you can do some thank you notes or treats, or, the holidays are coming up. So maybe it is little thank you treats that you and your kids make. We talked about that last episode. And, we made treats for the community, the trash collectors or the mail carrier or our piano teacher and dance teacher, just these little thank yous to say, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for all that you do. So why is gratitude so important? Why does it make us feel good? Well, I was researching this a little bit more, which I kind of knew this, but I just wanted to confirm. But it activates neurotransmitters like dopamine, which we associate with pleasure, serotonin, which regulates our mood. And it causes our brain to release oxytocin. And that induces this feeling of trust, generosity, and it's promoting that social bonding and that connecting feeling. So you ever think about that when you are being grateful to someone, it improves our mood. Like we were talking about, how it just makes me feel better. And I hope that it makes the person I'm saying it to feel a boost of positivity and a boost in their mood as well. And it's continuing to be on that positive mindset instead of more of a negative. So it's reducing that depression or anxiety, and it's allowing us not to kind of spiral into all the things that we can't do or we don't have control over. What do we have control over? What can I be grateful for? There are so many situations, I have seen many families with the hurricane recently, right? And many families have lost everything. But what can they be grateful for? I'm sure there's something. I'm grateful that I'm alive. I'm grateful for the community that's coming together and supplying cases of water, or I'm grateful that I have a friend's house to stay at while this is happening and I can go stay somewhere. So look for the positive things, even in the tough times, and try to help switch your brain. I kind of say it like train tracks. You kind of just have to switch the train tracks. You could be chugging down the track of negativity, but it's almost like a quick switcheroo and saying, you know what? I don't want to go that way anymore. I need to switch it up and I need to go the opposite way. And I need to start pumping my brain, my mind with positivity and filling me up. And that's what gratitude does. It's providing that positivity for you and your mind and your body. And, it could be an opportunity for better sleep. It could strengthen relationships, enhance empathy, and continue to think those positive thoughts. It's not just a one time thing, it's continuing to be grateful every day and continuing on that positive mindset and trajectory. So, one thing we talked about at the beginning was, sharing your gratitude. So, 3 things that you're grateful for at the beginning of your day. And maybe you could do this throughout your day, right? 3 things I'm grateful for at the beginning of my day, at lunchtime, and before I go to bed. And for me, what we did in our family is we would ask our kids at the end of the day, what are 5 of your favorite things from the day today? What was 5 favorite things? And it could be something simple. It could be what they had for lunch. It could be that we read a book together. And sometimes, it may be hard. 5 things can be difficult, but you could just say, okay, tell me one thing. What was one thing that you enjoyed doing today? And you're grateful for that. You're grateful for that opportunity, and you can start opening that conversation of gratitude with them and say, oh, you enjoyed reading a book together. I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to sit with you and snuggle up and read that book together with no interruptions. And that was such a wonderful moment. So that's something fun that we've done with the kids, and it allows them to have that positive mindset of, yeah, there's so many things around us that are awesome and that are amazing. So, just a few takeaways here. I want to encourage you to allow yourself some time to journal and reflect things that you are grateful for, people in your life, things in your life, situations, opportunities, and then thank those around you, even if it is a random text message or a phone call or a little note, and just thank them. And then discuss ways that you can show gratitude with your kids, whether it's a thankful turkey for Thanksgiving. I've done pumpkins. It could literally be anything. I've done hearts before, and they could just draw the shape, and then they could just write it down or draw a picture and say, I'm thankful for this. And talking about that gratitude and that positive mindset. And then just being grateful for all the things, big and small. It really is good for our soul. It helps our brain to have a more positive mindset. And it comes from a place of abundance versus scarcity, saying, look at all that I have around me. Even if things are hard, even if we're in a tough situation, what can I be grateful for? And then it's like, get the ball rolling, keep that going. And you continue to see the positivity, the gratefulness. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for listening and joining me today. Be sure to join us in the Educating Kids Connecting Families Facebook group, and then share what you are grateful for today, tomorrow, this Thanksgiving, this year. We're coming up at the year's end too. And it's like, what can we reflect on 2024? And what do we want to happen in 2025? So again, that positive mindset, that, really focusing and saying like, wow, these are all the great things that happened. And these are all the great things that I want to happen. So be sure to share those. I love to know what are some of the things that you're grateful for. How do you teach gratitude to your kids? Maybe you have something fun and a different way that you teach. We are always looking for new and exciting ways for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And let's stay connected and continue building a supportive community for you and for moms around the world. And one final thing, as we are closing in on the first year of podcasting, I have some new and exciting things planned for next year. So 2025, watch out. We're going to be doing one full year of podcasting and just continuing to learn and grow and continuing to improve and bring you content that you want to hear. But I would love to know if there is content that you are really looking for that's on your heart. Be sure to reach out and I will add that into our content for next year. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to the Educating Kids and Connecting Families podcast. I appreciate your support and cherish each and every listener. If you found value in this episode, download it, share with a friend, or leave a review. If you're interested in even more resources for you, activities for your kids, and connection, I encourage you to join our exclusive community, Educating Kids and Connecting Families with Christine Furman on Facebook. You can find the link and any other links mentioned in this episode in the show notes below. I'm looking forward to connecting with you and supporting your family.